So I had a call with some of my community members earlier for our community like Zoom supporter call. And one of them came and told this story. And she has been trying to tell her friends about all of this crazy stuff that's going on. And of course, one of the things we know is that when people are not ready to listen to what is going on the left, like there's nothing you can say. If people are not ready to hear about what's going on in the schools, if people aren't ready to process all of the crazy stuff in the world coming from the same place, there's like just literally nothing that you can say to get them to listen. And so you have to be patient. You have to be patient and wait for people to come along, and you have to plant little nuggets of information, and you have to hope that someday it marinates and that they eventually come to you and they want to learn what's going on. And so this actually happened to the community member on the call earlier, and she said, one of my friends came to me, and I've been trying to tell her about what's going on in the schools, and she came to me and she said, my son has 3 kids in it. My son's class has 3 kids in it. They used to be boys last year, and now those boys are identifying as girls. And my son is in trouble because he doesn't want to sit next to one of them because one of them took out his bits and started masturbating in the bathroom in front of everyone. And the school wants to talk to me because my son doesn't want to sit next to that person, and my son is getting in trouble for it. And I'm really confused about all this crazy stuff that's going on. And so my community member, she did such a good job. And they went out for tea. And she said, here's what's going on. All of this crazy stuff, from drag queens to gender to all of this, there are people in the world that are trying to teach kids that gender is fluid, that gender is a performance, that you can change your gender as easily as you're changing an outfit. And that's why they're doing all this drag queen stuff. And that's why you have all these kids that are suddenly deciding they're a different gender. And that's why you have the schools protecting the kids that are deciding that they're a different gender, rather than protecting everyone from having to see kids taking their bits out and masturbating in the bathroom. And so then her friend was like, well, why would they do that though? And so then my community member was like, okay, hang on. You have to understand that there are people in the world who want to abolish capitalism. And they believe that the gender binary was created by capitalism. And that if they can teach everyone in the world that gender is a performance, that will lead to the abolition of capitalism and the nuclear family and all children being born via surrogacy. And it sounds crazy when you say it that way. It sounds crazy when you say it that way. We sound like conspiracy theorists. We sound and it was just a great reminder to me that to normal people that don't sit around watching socialism all day, every day, it does sound a little crazy. It sounds a little unhinged, and I say it all the time. Like, I feel like I've never felt like more of a conspiracy theorist in my life, but I'm also absolutely convinced that I'm 100% right. We come across like Alex Jones. We sound like conspiracy theorists. Yep, it sounds crazy. It does. It sounds crazy. Reality is stranger than fiction. We sound like we're saying that they're turning the frogs gay or something. Yep. We're conspiracy theorists. We're conspiracy theorists. But the reason we say that is because we've heard them say it. We have heard them say it over and over and over again. Nick, thank you for the first super chat of the day. One day the normies might put on the sunglasses. Yeah, that's really all we can hope for, isn't it? That's really all we can hope for. And you know what? Like, it really was a nice reminder. It was a nice reminder that, well, we have a lot of work to do. And that we need to really make sure that we're approaching people with this information in a way that they're going to be receptive, that they can process it. Now, we shouldn't sugarcoat it. We should make it as easy to understand as we possibly can. But we also need to be providing evidence. We need to be providing receipts. We need to be providing backup so that when they say, that sounds crazy, we go, yeah, we know. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy. I know you think I'm a lunatic. I know, but it's real. It's real, and we've heard them say it. And this is why I do what I do. This is why I do what I do. With this show and with my Substack, which you can access at Karlyn, KARLYN.substack.com. Because currently on the Substack right now, if people are doubtful that they do actually want to have all children born via surrogacy, right now on the homepage of my Substack, you can find a paper that was written by a Harvard master's student, a Harvard University master's student in the Kennedy School of Government, which literally states in the paper, and it was published on the Student Policy Review website of the Harvard Kennedy School of Government. You can find the link over on the Substack. This paper literally states, transhumanism, the idea of overcoming biological limitations with sophisticated technology, envisions a world where medical technology advances to achieve universal fertilization and for fetuses to develop outside of wombs, completely decoupling gender and reproductive labor. Modern fertility technology already allows for some decoupling, but gendered reproductive labor divisions and biological limitations remain significant. If they don't want all kids born via surrogacy, then what's that about? Why are we decoupling gender from having children? Oh, wait, it's because they want to abolish the gender binary. The gender binary means men and women. The reason they want to abolish the gender binary is because they believe that capitalism created the gender binary, which again just means men and women. It put men in the workplace where they have all access to all the power and all the money. It put women in the home where they did the unpaid and undervalued work of raising the next generation of proletarian workers to continue the oppression of capitalism through social reproduction theory, which just means that social systems will reproduce themselves until they are disrupted. And the reason that they want to destroy the biological nuclear family is because they believe that the nuclear family is the literal means of reproduction of capitalism, which they define as private property ownership, which is their number one enemy in all of the world. And that is what they want to do in this country. They want to overthrow private property ownership, which means your ability to own a home, own land, own an apartment that you rent out as a landlord, own intellectual property, own a business, whether that business is big or small. Your parental rights are considered to be a form of private property. Your individual liberties are considered to be a form of private property. And they want all that gone. And that's why they want to destroy gender by teaching kids that gender is a performance. That is why they want to destroy the nuclear family, because they believe it is the literal means of reproduction of capitalism. And if they just destroy the nuclear family, they get their Marxist utopia. And that is what is going on. And we might sound crazy when we say it, but then we find Harvard master's students in the Kennedy School of Government saying that all children should be born outside the womb. I know they think we're all crazy. I get it. I know they think we're crazy. But we're not crazy. And we have mountains of receipts to back up every single thing that we say. And now it is our job. It is incumbent upon us, because no one else is doing this, to gently and carefully and pragmatically deliver this information to people who want to understand why the world has gone crazy. And we need to be there for them. We need them to go through the same process that many of us have gone through, where there is a mourning period. We need them to take this journey with us. And that is what we're doing here. And that is what I'm doing 6 days a week, streaming with you guys. And you know what we're going to do today? Actually, let me talk about this first. And this is why I'm creating a new resource for you. It's not exactly a new resource. I've been doing the re-education series over on my Substack, which the re-education series is basically, if you go to the Woke 101 section of my Substack, it is right at the top. And it is basically where I am breaking down all of the core concepts that you need to know about what the left is doing in really short posts that are really easy to understand, because everyone needs to learn this from scratch. We all need to learn it so that we can teach it to other people. However, I'm taking it to the next level. I have now figured out a way to harness AI to do things that were taking up so much of my time that it's ridiculous. AI is about to be the biggest game changer that I've ever experienced in my life. I poo-pooed it for a long time. Of course, I did AI art and I liked AI art and I dabble in AI music. But in terms of like using AI to enhance my productivity, I really poo-pooed it for a long time because I was like, what I do is so specialized. AI is not going to be able to catch up. But the AI is working for me now. And because the AI is working for me now, I am building off of this re-education series. And over the course of the next month, and by next month, I mean through the end of October, because we're still in September, I understand that, but I mean through the end of October, I am going to be putting together a book that I hope to have out before the end of the year. That is the goal. I want to make sure everyone can get a Christmas thing or something. I don't know if this is actually possible. I've never self-published before, but I'm going to be writing the book over the next month. And I've got the whole thing outlined. And I've got it all set up, and now all I need to do is keep my head down and bang out the content. And now I figured out how to utilize, again, AI to bang out content faster. It's not that I'm not writing it. I am writing it, but I'm using the AI to help with components that just makes the process of writing it all the much faster. I don't want anyone to think that I'm writing this using AI like from scratch, because I'm not. It's all coming from up here. It's all being read and proofed and approved by me. But in terms of like different aspects of it, yeah, there's research that needed to be done that is much easier to do with AI. And I cannot even say enough about how much easier AI is making my life. It is amazing. But anyway, my goal is to get this book out as soon as humanly possible. And I'm calling it Re-Education. It is based on the idea of the Re-Education series. It's not taking the posts directly. It's not doing like a copy and paste with the posts that are already available. It's going to be a little bit more built out than that. But this is going to be the definitive anti-communist guide for decoding the left. It's going to be written in plain English. It's going to be short little sections that's all going to be categorized like, what do you need to know? Like high-level points you need to know about the left. Yes, we all sound crazy. We know that, but just work with us for a minute. What you need to know about capitalism, what you need to know about racism, what do you need to know about gender ideology, disability studies, queer studies, fat studies, environmental justice, land, what you need to know about borders and immigration. Whatever topic the left is using to push their ideas, it is all going to be covered in this book. And what I'm thinking about is this is going to be like a study guide. This is going to be like a study guide that people can use in conjunction with my How to Speak Socialist class. This is where, by the way, in my How to Speak Socialist class, you have all the clips available to you, right? Clips from the trainings that we've been watching for 3+ years. This is going to be a study guide for people coming to Socialism Saturday. This is going to be something that we can use when people become interested in this topic, because again, you cannot force this on people before they're ready. But when people become interested in this topic, what we can do is say, here's a resource for you. And I'll help you understand this and I'll help you learn it. And we will go through this process together. And it'll be amazing. And you're going to know what's really going on in the world. And it might be hard, and you might not want to admit it, and you might go through a process of mourning. Because I think many of us have gone through a mourning process in the acquiring of this information. But at the end of the day, you need to face facts that this is what is going on in the world, and this is what is pushing every crazy idea, and this is particularly what is impacting the K through 12 public schools. This is what is being taught to your children from the time they're 5 years old in the public schools that are controlled by these people, that are quite literally trying to destroy our entire society, trying to abolish everything that upholds the American dream, and replace it with a society in which we are all part of the collective Borg, and that if you try to go against the socialist revolution, they will literally put you in the re-education camp. And yeah, we literally have them on video saying this. This isn't theoretical. Every single thing that I say on my channel, every single thing that I am writing in this book, it doesn't come from me. It is not my opinion. It is because I have seen them say it on video, and when I say them, I mean radical revolutionary socialist activists that are all over the country right now that are pushing these ideas. We have a massive archive of video of them that no one else in the world has. No one else is anywhere close to the amount of footage that I have of these people. So every single thing that I'm saying comes from video, from their trainings, from their events, from them discussing their ideas, from them teaching their ideas in the real world. I know the difference between what is written in the philosophy and what they're actually doing in the real world, because I don't look at the philosophy. I only watch what they're doing in the real world. Just because someone writes a paper or publishes an article in an academic journal doesn't mean that's what's being taught in the real world, because there's not a direct translation between the two. So if you just go right to the source, if you go to their trainings, which are all online because they make videos of all of them, if you just go to their events, which I've been to in person, by the way, I had to dress up and wear a chest binder and everything to go undercover, you will understand what they're teaching in the real world and what they're not teaching in the real world. And we need to hinge ourselves into reality if we want to start solving this problem, because continuing to just read the philosophy of dead people is not going to solve this problem. Continuing to bicker about all the different people that contributed to this situation, whether it be Marx or Mao or Marcuse or Hegel or Foucault or Horkheimer or Adorno or any of these people, that's not actually going to lead to solving the problem, because that is not what is going on in the real world today. We can see this. It is happening right out in the open. All we have to do is look. And I'm going to be distilling down all of the information that we have gained over the past 3 years. This is the moment that all of this has been leading up to write this book. And part of the reason I'm writing this book is because James Lindsay is starting to talk about decoding the language of the left, and I'll be goddamned if I'm going to allow James Lindsay to publish a book before I am decoding the language of the left, because James doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. So yeah, maybe I'm being a little petty too, but I do actually see an urgent need for it, if for no other reason than if James gets ahead of me on this one, he is the one that is going to be creating the narrative, and James Lindsay has spent years lying to people, and I'm not going to fucking have it. So, when we are presented with situations where we need to step up to the plate and reorganize a schedule that I had already planned to do this book next year, now is the time. I have the tools to do it. And we're all going to come together. And we're going to make sure people know that this resource exists. It's being created right now. And guess what? You don't even have to wait for the book to be published, because I'm actually writing it live on the internet. Okay, maybe not live. But as I finish chapters for this book, as I finish sections for this book, it will go up on my Substack, speaksocialist.substack.com, where when you are a member, which by the way, members to this site fund this book. When you become a member for $10 a month, $100 for the year, you are funding my ability to write this book. This is separate from my main Substack. It is a standalone product. You don't get it included if you're a member of my main Substack. I'm sorry if that makes people angry, but this is a separate standalone product. And what's going to happen when you sign up for this is you are going to get real-time updates of multiple projects that I'm writing, but it's going to be a heavy focus on this re-education thing for the next month because I just want it done and out. But there are multiple books that I'm writing out of this Substack. And the good benefit of this is that you don't have to wait for it to get published as a real book. You can get the drafts as they are written right now. And so if you want to support the work I'm doing there, head over to speaksocialist.substack.com and make sure you sign up for a membership, and then you will get email updates every time I publish something new. I'm also publishing audio versions of the book. So if you want to get the audio version, I haven't gotten all the chapters read in audio versions yet, but I'm doing a lot of them. So if you want to get the audio version, that will also be available as a members-only podcast over on that Substack. And we all need to come together, guys. We all need to learn this information. We all need to get this information out there. I will show up for you as long as you show up for me. And I know I have some super chats. I know people have been showing up for me in the super chats already, which of course I really do appreciate. I will always show up for you guys as long as you guys show up for me, okay? But this is important. We are pretty much effed. And the only way we can un-F this situation is by coming together and teaching as many people as possible what is going on the left. So head over to speaksocialist.substack.com, sign up for updates as I write the re-education book, which will hopefully be done by the end of the month, and then I hopefully will be able to get it out relatively quickly after that. You can also head over to my main Substack where you can actually access the re-education series that I'm writing over there. Again, this is not going to be the exact content that's in the book, but they are quick hits of information that you can give to your friends. Here, you want to understand what decolonization means? Here's what this means. You want to understand how queer is different from trans? Here's what this means. These are quick hits of information that allow other people to understand what's going on in plain English, because we need more people understanding what is going on. Well, the re-education book is going to be the definitive anti-communist guide to decoding the left, and that I'm like, fingers crossed, by the end of the year, fingers crossed, we'll see how it goes. It will minimally, here's the thing, I don't know, I've never done self-publishing before, so I don't know what's required to actually get it up on Amazon and like as a print-on-demand book, but what I can guarantee you is that there will be minimally a digital copy of the book available on this Substack by the end of the year. I'm hoping to get the full book done, but I don't know if that's possible because I don't know how this stuff works. I've never done this before. You guys got to hang with me with this. But what I can tell you is that I basically, I just need to put my head down and finish out the content for it. I have everything done other than that. And so I will make sure there is some sort of digital version, even if it's just a PDF download, that is available on this Substack by the end of the year. And that way, everyone's going to have this resource. No one's going to have any more excuse. Everyone's going to have a study guide for all the socialism classes. Anytime someone new comes in, we say, here is your required reading, new person. And they say, I don't want to read your book. You just want to make money. I say, okay, well, you're not going to understand my content until you read this book. And then eventually they're going to break down and they're going to realize that they need to read the book. And then they're going to go, wow, I should have read this book in the first place. And we're going to go, yeah, we told you should have read the book in the first place. The book got created for a reason because it needed to be created for more people to understand this content. All right. So that's what's going on. That's why I didn't have a stream yesterday. I was working very hard and very diligently on getting the introduction to the book done, which you can currently read on speaksocialist.substack.com. And I really do appreciate all the support. Thank you guys who have made all this possible.